back to crocheting. This also kind of looks like I'm wrapped in a lettuce leaf. So I just frogged like 5 rounds. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenna. I love to crochet plushies, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. For today's video, we will be doing part 2 of crocheting my largest plushie ever. In case you missed part 1, I will link it down below. I don't want to spoil anything, but basically by the end of this video, you guys will see me going through the struggle with this turtle. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Alright, just kidding guys, it's still the same day. I am gonna get started on the shell though because I usually like to call people and crochet. It helps me zone out from the actual crocheting itself, especially in cases like this where I just keep increasing over and over. So we're gonna begin on the shell when I go call my mom. So let's see what we're working with. I have 5 skeins of this emerald green color, and this is what we're gonna be using for the shell. It is Parfait XL and it is size 7 yarn. I'm using a 9mm hook, so I'm really curious to see how many skeins I will need to make this giant shell. Okay, so I just did the math really quick, and I think I want to go up to 24 increases total, which is crazy, but that means I need to make 156 single crochet for the final like shell width. And, well, I guess it would be the perimeter, and I'll have to repeat that maybe like 4 rounds, so 4 rounds of 156, and not to mention I have to increase up to 156 stitches from 6, so it's definitely gonna be a process. I wonder how long it'll take me. I definitely don't want to do it today, like I don't want to finish it today, because honestly I think that would be too much on my hands and wrists, but we will get started. I think I'm gonna guess and say the shell itself, it'll take like 5 skeins. And just to give you perspective, my human-sized turtle, which is the next largest that I offer besides this king size, it only required 1 skein for the shell. And I think it goes up to 12 increases, so we'll see how this goes. Alright guys, I am at 18 increases. I wanted to go up to 24, but I just wanted to quickly see how big the shell is in comparison to the table. Oh my gosh, it looks so small compared to the table. Maybe I need to do more than 24. Also, I know it's like a little bit pointed, and I do get a lot of questions with this whenever I make like my human-sized turtles. It will just naturally kind of come to a point, but when I stuff the shell, it should go away. Same with the hexagon shape. It's just due to the nature of increasing in the same spot. But once I am happy with the width and I stop increasing, I'll do a few rows of just single crochet around, and that should take out the hexagon shape. But oh my gosh, it looks so small compared to the table. No. Okay, wait, let me go grab the fins so we can mock it up even more so I can get a better idea. But so far, I've used 2 skeins of yarn for the shell. I think I will definitely need at least 3, but I don't think it will be as crazy as I thought. Like, I don't think I'll need like 5 or anything. But okay, let me go grab the fins. Okay, here's the head. The head is pretty big. I'll put it right here on the edge of the table. And then I think these are the 2 front fins. Okay, so this is what it looks like mocked up. I mean, he's definitely the biggest turtle I've made so far, but yeah, we definitely need to do a lot more increasing with the shell. Honestly, I don't even know if 24 single crochet will do it. Probably need to go up to maybe even like 30, honestly. Like, this is too small. But oh my gosh, look at him, you guys. He's coming together. Back to crocheting. So I mentioned this in part 1, but as I was designing this turtle, I was writing down the pattern simultaneously because I do plan on releasing this pattern for you guys. It makes me wonder how many people are going to attempt to make their own king-size turtle, but I'm seriously so excited for this pattern because it'll be so cool seeing more king-size turtles out in the world. This project was definitely not easy, but I feel like it will be 100% easier for the people who buy the pattern since all of the proportions are worked out already, all the the math is mathin', everything is perfect with it. So all you have to do is sit down and make the turtle. Versus with me, I was just designing it as I went. So as you guys have seen, there was a lot of trial and error, a lot of frogging, a lot of frustration. But this actually brings up a question that I get a lot from you guys, and it's all about pattern designing. So I actually have a whole video tutorial dedicated to pattern designing, especially with like amigurumi and crochet patterns. So I'll link it down below for you guys in case you didn't see that video yet. But I feel like so much of pattern designing is truly just like diving headfirst into it and just designing as you go. Especially for me, it's really hard for me to like sit down and write out a pattern physically without actually making the plushie as I go simultaneously, just because it's so hard for me to visualize like the proportions, the shape. I feel like I'm not there yet as a designer myself where I can just sit down, pen to paper, and write out the pattern. I will have to sit down and actually make it first. And I feel like making this turtle really sums up pattern designing in a nutshell. But my biggest tip for anybody who wants to start designing their own crochet patterns would be to just start. Take some scrap yarn that you don't care about, try to test out your theory of what stitches go well together to create this shape, and see where it takes you. You honestly never know what you'll end up with. And related to pattern designing, I always get a lot of questions from you guys asking what software I use to actually write out my patterns. For the longest time, I just used Google Docs, which is just like a plain Word document. It's not really cute or anything. So this year, I've been challenging myself, and I really wanted to revamp all of my patterns, remake them, and specifically make them really aesthetically pleasing and cute and pretty. And to help me accomplish this goal, I've turned to Kittl, which is the sponsor of today's video. So if you didn't already know, Kittl is an intuitive and user-friendly platform that allows you to create beautiful, professional-looking graphics for all different types of purposes. So Kittl actually has a massive library of professional, ready-made templates for you to choose from, and this is perfect as a starting point for any graphic project that you might need. I feel like the biggest challenge for me is that I never know where to start when designing, so having these templates built into Kittl's advanced editor is super helpful. And the best part is, you do not need any design experience to get started. I'm honestly so thankful for Kittl because I personally don't have any design experience, and I need to create a lot of graphics for my crochet business. Whether it's making patterns, making listing photos, my YouTube thumbnails, the list goes on and on. I even use Kittl to help me design some new hoodies and t-shirts that you've probably seen in my shop. So you can actually try Kittl for free by clicking the link in my description box. I highly recommend it, and I cannot wait for you guys to try it out. Alright friends, it is the next day, and I realized I need to switch up my strategy for increases if I want to make this shell get larger like exponentially. I feel like keeping an increase multiple of 6 is just taking way too long. So I am testing out and doing increases of 12. So now instead of increasing by 6 stitches each round, I'll be increasing by 12 stitches each round. Hopefully that doesn't like mess up the shape of the shell. I mean, this is all trial and error, so I will see, but that is what I'm working on now. So in the previous round, I had 120 stitches. So after I'm done this round, which is round 21, I should have 132 stitches. So hopefully it will make our shell bigger sooner. Work smarter, not harder, right? Okay, so this is what the shell is looking like so far. Honestly, I kind of like that I'm increasing in increments of 12 because it looks like the shell is getting bigger quicker, which is really important because I don't want to keep increasing forever. And it's less hexagon-ish. Now it's like an octagon, it's like a stop sign, but honestly I'm not concerned because it should round out once I do a few rounds of just single crochet. But we're getting there. I think I'm going to continue to increase by 12, and it still will probably take me a while, but not as long as it would have if I kept increasing by 6. So I just frogged like 5 rounds because the shell started to get like ruffly, and I was scared if I continued down this path it would not straighten out in the end. So I took a risk and I frogged everything, and this is what the floor is looking like, and this is what our shell is looking like. I think the problem started when I increased by 12 instead of 6. So I think I have to frog 4 more rounds. It's like over 100 stitches that I have to frog to get back to 6, and then I'll just continue increasing by 6. Even though it will be longer, I just don't want to risk the shell having the ruffly edge. Alright, so this is the updated mock-up. I think the shell is pretty good. Like, it looks proportional, honestly, with the fins, because the fins are going to be like the biggest piece, that and the head. And like the shell, I guess though, now that I'm looking at it, I guess I could go maybe a few more rounds bigger, but honestly it's looking really good. So yeah, maybe just a few more rounds of increasing, and then we can start adding the fins and really closing up the turtle. Alright, so this is the current update with the shell. I'm really glad that I frogged all of those rounds because it is definitely looking a lot more flat, and if I continued down the road I was headed, it would have been bad. So I'm glad I frogged when I did. It was worth it. And this is how big it is looking currently. I think I just did 30 increases, so I think I want to do maybe like 5 more rounds, and then I think we should be good. But I just wanted to show you guys like how massive the shell is currently in relation to the table, because we are going to use the table as like a guide. I'm thinking I want to get it almost to the edge of the table, maybe like 6 inches, 5 inches away from the edge. So it definitely helps to lay it out so I can see where I'm at so far. But yeah, it's super cool to see it though on the table because it really is so massive. But I'm gonna get back to crocheting. So I just opened skein number 5 for the shell, and you guys, I literally thought I would not even open 3. I'm like, it's gonna be like 3 skeins max, probably won't even be that much. I am going on my 5th skein, and this is how big the shell is. Honestly, to crochet it now, I just kind of like lay it on my lap like a blanket and crochet it that way because it's way too much to have like sprawled out on my desk or something. And I will honestly give props to my husband because I told him last night, I'm like, I think, you know, I'm gonna stop here, I'm gonna call it here. And when we mocked it up on the table, he's like, no, you gotta keep going. Like, it's not even as big as the table, which is what you originally planned for, so you gotta keep going. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna run out of yarn, I don't have enough yarn, I wanna finish this. So I went ahead and ordered more Premier yarn from Amazon. I like need it immediately because I'm trying to finish this turtle before I go on my Croatia trip, and that's in like 2 weeks, and I'm super thankful that Amazon even had it in stock. So I ordered 4 more skeins. I will definitely not need all 4 of them, but just to be safe, I ordered 4. And I don't know, I feel like I still have a few rounds left, and then I'll start just regular single crochet around. So maybe all in, the shell will take 6 skeins, 7 skeins, but hopefully we're nearing the end soon for the shell. It's like absolutely insane, you guys. I just posted a little teaser on Instagram too, like I put a little reel out of me crocheting this shell, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, giant turtle. I'm like, yes, finally. I've been talking about making a giant turtle, like bigger than my human-sized turtle, for so long, and I've just been pushing it off. So I'm so glad to finally be doing it and committing to it because we need to see it come to life. All right, I am basically done skein 5, so I am forced to take a break, which honestly is probably for the best because I've been crocheting nonstop and I'm feeling it, like my arms, my biceps, my wrists, everything, my fingers. So it's good that I have to wait for the yarn to come in, but yeah, let me show you guys the full shell so far. Oh my gosh, I feel like whenever I mock it up on the table, it kind of takes away from like how big it actually is because the table itself is big, so it makes the shell look small. But let me stand up. Hold on. Like, this is how big it is so far. Like, compared to me, this is crazy, you guys. Look at that. Also, wait, I have pants on. I could basically be the turtle. Like, my arms are the fins. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are making strides. It is currently only Wednesday though, and the yarn's supposed to come in on Sunday, so I'm gonna be sad I can't work on it. But like I said earlier, it's for the best. So I'll check in with you guys in a few days. Good morning, friends. It's currently Tuesday, and guess what came in the mail? we are back in business for the king size turtle. And honestly, it has been so hard to like wait for this yarn to come in because I was on a roll last week. Like I was really trying to get that turtle done as quickly as I could, but I guess it's good I ran out of yarn because my wrist definitely needed a break. But I actually ordered this Parfait XL off of Amazon just because I wanted to come super quick. I wanted that Prime shipping. So just a fun fact for anyone who didn't know, you can get Premier yarn off of Amazon, I guess depending on where you're located. So I'm gonna get back to crocheting the shell. Hopefully we can wrap it up soon and then I can transition back to the light blue, finish the body, and then we can finally put this turtle together. I'm really excited to see how much stuffing it will need. I'm excited to see the final dimensions. I posted a bunch of reels about it and you guys have been loving it. I think it's cool to split up the process into multiple different reels because usually I just film one reel at the end that shows kind of like the whole process, but I don't know, something about like taking you part by part is a little bit more fun in my opinion, except some people don't realize that I didn't finish the turtle yet. Like some people were being mean like, oh, just show us already, but it's like, I didn't finish it yet. I'm showing you guys step by step. So I think the next time I post a reel, it will be with the stuffing stage because a lot of people are wondering like, how much stuffing will it take? And honestly, I don't even know. Maybe it'll take like 10 pounds. Like it's a big shell. So I'm gonna like save 10 pounds of stuffing just for the shell, but it probably won't be that much, right? It probably won't be that much. But okay, let's get crocheting. All right, friends, I'm checking in because I am almost done the first skein of the new batch that I got. So this is skein number 1. I ordered 4 total, and honestly, I think I might need to order more because right now I am finishing up the shell. I plan on doing 2 more rows of increases. I think we're up to 40 increases, which is crazy. 40 increases. I didn't even count how many like stitches that is around, but we are definitely past 200 stitches around. Like the shell is massive. So I am trudging along. I'm almost done increasing, and then once I'm done increasing, to help even out like the hexagon shape, just because all the increases are in the same spot, the shell gets a little hexagon-y. I am going to do a few rounds of just single crochet, no increasing. That usually helps make the shell look more round, takes away the hexagon edges, and then we can finally move back to using light blue and we can finish up this turtle. I'm like sitting here though, and I wanted to come on and chat with you all because I have not crafted like in a different form other than crochet for like over 3 years now. Like ever since I started my crochet business, I basically stopped all my other hobbies because, you know, crochet took over. I love crochet so much, but I'm finally starting to get the itch again. And you know what I'm thinking of starting? I'm thinking of getting into rug tufting. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, Jenna, like what? Like, I don't know about that. If you guys didn't already know, before I found crochet, I hopped around from hobby to hobby. I always picked up a hobby, like hyper fixated on it, and then like lost interest after a week or so. Prime example is like polymer clay earrings, drawing. I went through my whole drawing era. I thought I was gonna be an illustration girl. No, never panned out. So now I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to get into rug tufting because I just keep seeing all of the aesthetic videos on my feed on Instagram, and it just seems like so fun to tuft with the tufting gun. And I think I would want to make like a Shay rug. I think that would be so cool, especially for in my office, and then Shay would like sleep on the rug, so it'd be perfect. I already have like all of the acrylic yarn as well, so I think the initial investment would just be in like a rug tufting kit. And I did do some research today. I looked up the tufting kits on Amazon, and it looks like it's like not too bad of an investment. I honestly thought it would be more expensive for the gun itself, but you can get a kit that includes the tufting gun and like all the other materials needed for like $100. So I feel like if I eventually did get into rug tufting, you know, you can turn around and sell the rug for a pretty good profit, especially if people want like custom rugs made. I think that would be so cool. So I don't know, I'm trying to hold myself back. Like I don't really have a lot of free time as it is with my crochet business, my full-time job. Like, why add another hobby to it? But something in me is just telling me, like, Jenna, you gotta try out rug tufting. So maybe in a future video you will see me make a Shea rug using my new rug tufting kit, but we shall see, we shall see. First, I'm gonna try and finish this turtle. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am about to do the last stitch of the shell, and I am happy to say that I don't have to order more yarn. The total skein count for the shell is 8 skeins. If you saw my Instagram reel, I filmed that before I finished the shell, and I really thought it was going to be 9, so I lied on Instagram. The final count is actually just 8. This is how much I have left though of the 8th, so I think just to play it safe, if people want to make this turtle and have different tensions, you might want to get 9 skeins of the shell color just to be safe. But let me show you guys the final shell. Oh my goodness. Here she is. It's like a whole blanket at this point. I could literally be a turtle. If I wanted to make a turtle costume for Halloween, I would follow this shell. This also kind of looks like I'm wrapped in a lettuce leaf, and it's cute. It's really cute. I'm so happy to be done, and I will finally be able to break out the light blue yarn, and we are officially done with emerald. Yes, we're making our way, you guys. We're making our way. I am going to start on the body tomorrow. I'm gonna give my hands a little rest, and yeah, I'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. All right, guys, I am officially done increasing, and oh my gosh, this is the final look at the turtle shell. Can we just take a moment and look at all of those stitches? I haven't done the final count yet, but it's over 200 stitches around, and we ended up doing almost 40 increases to get the shell this big. Like, oh my goodness, you guys, I cannot stop looking at the shell. It is crazy. I honestly am now second guessing whether or not I made the head and the fins proportional, because I don't know, I wasn't planning on making the shell this big originally. My husband is the one who kept telling me to go bigger. So now I'm like, dang, do I need to revisit the head and the fins? I don't know. To be determined, but I think the next steps for me are to make the outline of the shell, so like make the ridge, and then we will color change to the light blue body, and we will go from there. I'm super excited to see the fins sewn into the body and really have it start looking like an actual turtle. Good morning, friends. I just got done finally doing the border of the body color for the turtle. So we officially are using blue, and this is what the outline looks like. So it's looking very cute. I also like how the half double crochet edge turned out. It naturally like curls up, so I think that looks really good. So the next step is now determining how many chains I want to incorporate, and these chains will create the gaps, which are where I will put the fins and the tail later on, and we'll sew them to the body that way. But I've honestly been putting off working on this turtle because this step requires a lot of math. I need to like calculate how many stitches I want to leave for the gaps and make sure it's all symmetrical, so I have to do some math. And honestly, I was supposed to finish this turtle over this past weekend, but I didn't work on it at all, and I feel like I was trying to avoid doing math. So I'm finally going to do it. We're gonna sit down with a calculator, we're gonna figure it out, but hopefully it will come out even. I have to see whether or not I need to like decrease before we start making these chains. It's a whole process, but I will keep you guys updated, and hopefully by the end of today, I will get to the point where we will be sewing the fins and the tail in, which is major because then after that, it's like we're almost there. We just have to keep decreasing the body until it's done, and then sew on the head. So yeah, we're making good progress. I have to mock it up because I was trying to work out the math on paper, but without seeing how it would actually look with the spacing, I don't think it would have came out right. So I brought everything to the table and we're gonna mock it up. Okay, I think I got it pretty straight. I'm only off by 2 stitches on this side, so I think I'll just shift everything by 1 and then we should be pretty symmetrical. Oh my gosh, look at this turtle, you guys. So crazy. All right, you guys, good news. I figured out the math and we are in business. I just got done making the 5 gaps for the 4 fins and the tail, and I'm already starting to decrease. Wait, let me show you. So there's one little gap and I got it pretty symmetrical, so I'm really happy about that. And I am now thinking about when I want to sew the fins and the tail on, just because I know it'll be kind of hard to work with when the fins and tail are sewn on. Because right now, I don't know if you guys can see, let me put the camera down. This is how I'm working. Like, I'm literally just crocheting with the shell folded in my lap, but it will definitely be more cumbersome with the tail and the fins. So I'm gonna try to decrease as much as I can and then wait until like the very last moment to add the fins. So hopefully that pays off and it's easier on me, but I'm really excited because now I can just throw on a show, I can zone out, and I can just start decreasing the body. We are so close to being done. So it is officially August 5th, so I leave for my trip in 3 days and I am all packed. I feel like usually I wait till the last second to pack, but for this trip, I've had 2 recurring nightmares about my friends showing up to my house and saying like, come on Jenna, let's go to the airport, and I had like nothing packed. And then I'm frantically like jumping out of bed, stuffing everything into my suitcase, and it gives me so much anxiety and I wake up feeling so relieved that it was a nightmare. So for this trip, I actually did go ahead and pack all throughout the weekend, yesterday and Saturday. So I am ready to go. All I need to do is get my nails done, do some little pampering for my face and my hair, and then I'm all set. I also didn't realize the flight was going to be literally 10 hours. So I fly from Fresno, California to Arizona, and then I fly from Arizona to London. And I'm always used to flying off of the East Coast because that's where I've always been whenever I went international, and to Europe, I've always been East Coast based. So usually it's like a 4 to 5 hour flight, nothing too crazy. But 10 hours, y'all, like that is long. So I am planning on packing a bunch of acrylic yarn so I can make some more cats on the flight. And then I also went ahead and downloaded 3 books off of the Kindle store, and I'm bringing my Kindle with me. I was always so hesitant to get a Kindle because I'm the type of person who like loves holding the book in her hand physically, but I will say having a Kindle for traveling is great because you don't have to lug around all of the heavy books. I think I took a picture of my Kindle to see what books I purchased, but the one book that I'm really excited about is Fourth Wing. I know I'm super late to the trend, but I thought since I've been making all of these dragons, I really need to go ahead and read the book that I feel like has really inspired a lot of these dragon designs. I feel like everyone's talking about Fourth Wing, so I'm finally going to read it, hopefully. Okay, and here's the picture. I also got All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whittaker. And then I got another book called The Truth About the Devlins, and that is by Lisa Scottoline. I honestly bought those other 2 books because they were like trending on the Kindle store, so I'm like, oh, you know, they're bestsellers, they're probably good. So I'll let you guys know what I think. I feel like I'm a pretty fast reader, so hopefully I will be able to finish those 3 books by the time my trip wraps up because I have an 11-hour flight going back home. So between the 2 flights, hopefully I will be able to finish those books and let you guys know. I feel like reading is such a treat because I am never able to read while crocheting and while I'm actually home because I'm always crocheting. I feel like I do need to get into like audiobooks or something like that because I genuinely do love reading and I've missed it so much. With crochet, I always just throw on YouTube or I throw on Netflix, Gilmore Girls, but I feel like if I incorporated audiobooks, that would be great. So I just had the really scary realization that I might not have enough blue yarn now. So I already spent way too much money on Amazon to rush ship the green yarn, only to have the light blue yarn run out. and I just looked on Premier's website and they're sold out of the light blue, and Amazon also doesn't have the light blue. So my last resort is buying on Etsy, and I did find a seller who has 5 skeins in stock, but it's gonna be costly. So the price you pay, I guess, for making the largest plushie, but just to be safe, I am gonna place this order for the 5 skeins. I do have like 2 skeins left, and I have a good amount of yarn left on the current skein that I'm working on, but I'm only on a decrease of 37 and we need to go all the way down to 0. So I don't want to play the game of yarn chicken and lose, because who knows when the light blue will restock in Parfait XL. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet. We're doing it for the turtle. So the blue yarn finally came in the mail, so I can officially work on the king size turtle again. I'm excited to finally finish it because this project has been really stretched out and I did not anticipate it taking me this long. So hopefully the 7 skeins that I have will be enough to finish the turtle. And it's just been chilling here on my pile of stuffing. And yeah, the only thing I have left is really to sew in the fins, finish the body, stuff it, and sew on the head. Good morning, friends. So today I am going to be focused on finishing the king size turtle. I definitely underestimated how long it would take me to close up the body, because that's essentially all I have left. I just have to close up the body and sew the fins and the head on. So I totally thought I would be done with it by now, but it's becoming like so cumbersome to like actually crochet because it's just so large. I feel like that prevents me from just like picking it up and like finishing it. But today I will be finishing it, and this is what I have so far. As you can see, I did several rounds of closing the body, but we still have a lot to go. Each round is like over 200 stitches at this point, and to actually crochet it, let me show you guys. You've probably seen in some of the videos already, but like I just have to lay it on my lap and just like rotate it as I crochet it. So it's a process, but hopefully I will make some good progress today, and then this weekend is a long weekend. It's Labor Day, so hopefully I can just like dedicate a lot of the weekend to finishing it, because I just want it to be done already. I feel like it's definitely just drawn out, and I really want to put it on top of my car and do like a lot of reels with it, so hopefully that motivates me to just finish it at this point. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. But alright, I think we'll call the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. We are almost done with the turtle, you guys. The shell was definitely the struggle, but we are powering through and it will all end up okay. This is future Jenna. The turtle is officially done. I'm happy with it. So in part 3, that is where we will see everything finally come together. We will finalize the turtle and it will be ready to go off to its forever home. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!